Good morning, nerds. Hello, how are you doing? This is the regular Space Junkie takeover on the Y Plus channel. How are you doing? I hope we've been missed. We are back, obviously. This is Dave with me. Hi, Dave.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere
Wherever
around the
you
world.
are,
Yeah. Hello, nice
and
people.
and I
Yeah.
am Sabi. Oh,
Hmm?
hold on, I can hear myself for some reason. Okay, anyway, I muted myself. Sorry. So we are back, and obviously we would like to summarize what happened in last week's the last week's events in Starbase. Well, it's a mixed bag. Some things happened, and in the end, it's not a lot. But there is always very curious things happening and boiling under the surface. So obviously, we try to summarize the best we can. Before we start, we need to remind you that there are 2 episodes per week from Felix, Tuesdays and Fridays. Definitely make sure you tune in and you watch those because they are super info packed. Okay, there is nothing further ado. Let's kickstart it. And we have a great photo, first of all, a meme. These four
Yeah,
gentlemen famously walking
yeah,
the
it's not a
production.
road, but
It's not
yeah.
that road.
However, it was not so eventful week. Beatles have returned and visited Starbase. Of course, it's a joke. So yeah, but it's a kind meme to start it up to the today's show. So yeah, as always, we can start at the Messi's outpost, and we have some nice flyover photos from, I guess, from the weekend. So they are quite fresh. So yeah, maybe you remember that we have talked about already. Yes, no, not that yesterday, last time. So last Monday, that the booster 11 remainings have been moved back to the Messi's with this nice ship. And actually, this ship was gone back for a second round, so maybe more remainings will be lifted from the Gulf of Mexico. So yeah, these are quite interesting movements from SpaceX because we can ask why now, why didn't they do it before or already? So why now? But it's a good question. And the other question, actually, what happened to the booster 11? Because it seems, as we mentioned last week, that all of the middle part of the thrust pack is missing. So most of the people think,
Um, before
yeah,
we get into that, let's
okay.
just highlight that this is a super cool shot taken by the Y team, and I think we are very proud of it because they caught some really cool moments. So this is the ship actually sailing back to Port Brownsville.
Mhm.
So that's a super nice, really super nice capture. So well done for the Y team. And then let's just let me show you this section. This is the one that
Mhm.
Elon was posting on X, and obviously we've got some close-up footage from the Messies, and there they are. Yes.
Yeah, these are the two biggest parts of the remaining of the booster 11, but there are some Raptors, I guess, from this angle behind the biggest part. Maybe if we can zoom in, we can see the Raptors. But anyway, if we don't, then it's not a problem. So yes,
Let
I
me show you
guess.
some of the close-ups. Yep, and then
Mhm,
I will dig out the wider shot.
mhm. So yes, these are the outer rings of with the, I guess, 17 or 16 remained Raptors. Of course, they are out of order, so they can't use them anymore. But maybe they can show some nice details, and the SpaceX engineers can learn a lot of them. So yeah, I guess it's a quite positive thing that some remainings of the booster 11 could lift it from the Gulf of Mexico. And yeah, as I mentioned, other parts will join soon. These sections, we don't know when, but the ship is already sailed out for a second round, and maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe in 1 week or 2 weeks, I don't know. It will return soon to the Port Brownsville again, and we'll see uh, at least on some of flyover pictures what kind of remainings have been lifted. Because I don't think Elon will share one photo, but of course when yes, then it's good for us, for enthusiasts. But yeah, this one photo from Elon is already a surprise, I guess, because it was not a mandatory thing that he shall post it. But yeah, he thought so that he posted this, and it was a good thing.
Definitely curious what happened with the booster. There
Mhm.
is no word from SpaceX. There is no word from Elon. Um, we
I
were
guess
just
it won't either.
we
So
we were
they
just
won't send it.
discussing what
Mhm.
happened to the booster itself. I mean, in terms of how it was lifted, some speculating it was cut. We don't know. I mean, right here, yeah, along these line, this is just too smooth and too straight.
Mhm.
So it looks like they chopped it up. They did some chop. But the big question is that, well, it's not a big question, but did they do it underwater or once they were lifted, and did they do it in the air? We don't know. We can confirm any of these, but it looks like they did some cuts on the booster on the aft section. But what I
Director's
think
cut.
the yes, but what they were, everybody's speculating that where the thrust puck disappeared, was it blown off? Was it an explosion? What exactly happened to booster? We don't know. Hopefully, at some point in the future, they will share some information regarding to that. But I'm
Mm.
pretty sure that the reason why they lifted it up is A, to find out what happened, and they can only do that the best way if they have the hardware. And also, it's a pretty shallow water. It's only 60 odd meters deep, not even 70 meters deep. Um, so booster 10 is way more inwards, so further away from the shores, and that's like hundreds of meters below the surface. And but with this one, with Booster 11, it's a different story. And a lot of people were speculating that actually they've just probably afraid of some divers just going over there and just taking some photos of the critical hardware. Who knows? But it's a good speculation for sure.
Yeah, so there are lots of question marks behind or all around these booster 11 remainings, but hopefully we will know some more informations. If yes, of course we will share them. If not,
Mhm. And we
then
will
we,
not.
then we will not to do it. So anyway, we can go, or we can move to the Sanchez side, because nothing else is meant to mentioning here at the message, because yeah, there are nothing much happening. So
Yep.
that's why we can move to the Sanchez. But there are lots of interesting movements. When we can start with the new parts of the
First of
second
all,
SQ,
let me
or
show
yeah,
you. Mhm.
then we start with the second OLM, okay, or
Mhm.
launch mount or launch pad. We don't know whether it will be a mount or only an, a pad exactly. So, but for sure, these are the first parts of the new OLM, and of course we don't know how they will assemble them. But the two first sections have arrived yeah, last week, and they have already prepared or moved to the next to these new footings which have been constructed in the last weeks. And when you can see the crane, there are four footings with reconstructed what's the term, Cons- uh, yeah, construction footings. Yes, so you can see there are some structures, and when we can see the other things from the behind the crane, there are these two long sections which have arrived last week, and since then there are even more parts arrived just this morning, or yeah, actually at Starbase time this morning. To us it's already afternoon. But yeah, so even more and more parts arriving to the Sanchez site. It's a good thing, because maybe we can see some assembly very soon, and at least we can have some some answers how this new OLM will be looking like, because I guess not only me and not only Szabi, but everyone else is curious how this rectangular thing will be looking like. I I am sure that we can say that it will be a rectangular thing, because it won't be a round thing as the OLM1, the currently operating OLM, but it will be a rectangular thing. But how long or how the measurements will be looking like, or the dimensions will be looking like, it's still a question. But at least the Lego parts are arriving, and that's a good thing.
From Louis Nags, we have some photos. I just pull in very quick. So this is what. So he said that using images from RGB aerial photos, I put together a rough model of OLM2, CSS Starbase. He was asking CSS Starbase, what is he thinking about that? So this is the sort of squarish, or we don't know, rectangular or very shape of
Yeah,
the structure. This is what they are speculating, that this might look like this. Who knows?
who knows? Yeah.
I just thought this is worth mentioning. Yeah, very good.
All right, and if we are moving a bit further to the production site area, or almost to the production site, we can see some other activity with the new chopstick parts. And if we can just zoom in a bit, then we can see they actually the strengthening of the chopstick arms have been started, because we can see these are the new zebra chopstick arms, as we can
It
see.
went.
Yeah,
It's gone zebra.
yeah, it went zebra, and that means that the new strengthening plates are already welded, or no, not. It's they are prepared to weld, because they remove the painting, and after it, what we can see under this chopstick, there are some quite rusty things. These plates which will be welded on these arms, and from it the SpaceX engineers expecting to be even more strength of the new chopstick arms. But as we can see, they are quite shorter as the first one. Can we go back for full size, because maybe the viewers can see then better what I'm talking about. And yeah, the other chopstick arm is already there, of course, and next to them is the carriage system. These, I don't know, these Y shape things. Yeah, these are them. And on the other side of the arms, we can see that the new SQD, so the ship quick disconnect arm, started to be assembled as well. So there are parallel activities with these new hardwares, and it's also a good sign, because they will starting to be constructing them soon, and after the Lego play they will move them to the launchpad B, and of course this new crane will lifting them to its place. So yeah, currently the Tower 2 is quite naked yet, if I can say that, but soon it will change, and new hardwares will join them. So yeah, that's the activity on the Sanchez site, and yeah, maybe we can go to the production site and actually to the new office building. Or can we,
Just
or
for
shall
the
we talk about the base a bit?
just no, just for the first time viewers. This is the big buildings that you can see. These are the biggest buildings basically on the production side. It's called the bays. High Bay, Mega Bay 1, and then obviously we've got the Mega Bay 2. Certain ships and boosters are built in these buildings. There is some speculation that there might be a a fourth building, maybe a third mega bay, but we don't know. Nobody knows where it might be. Earlier on in the Y episode, Felix was speculating that it's gonna be close to the Rocket Garden, close to the pensioners, but a lot
Yeah,
of people, including CSS Starbase, Zach is speculating that it might go to replace the high bay.
Yeah, Zach Gordon is, if I can say, the loudest
Advocate for that.
speculator about the high bay, because I think he's mentioning 1 year ago that the high bay will be uh, demolished or deconstructed because it's too small actually for the ship version 2 and version 3 or block 2 or block 3. And so the high bay will be gone soon. And yeah, we can see some signs already that, for example, the high bay never got a door as the Mega Bay 1 and 2 got them. And the other thing that if we just think about the base or the area of this high bay, it's a kind of waste of space, because it could be a quite nice and even bigger bay to be constructed as currently the high bay is. So even bigger as the current existing mega base. So it could be an ultra bay or giga
So
bay, or I don't know how to
this might
call
be
them.
gone. This might be
Yeah,
gone, right?
so Zach thinks that not only the high bay, but even the Stargate building will be gone. So everything or both of the buildings will be demolished or deconstructed, and all on this new area, which will be free, an even bigger bay will be built. Of course, not in the very soon, but if we just looking back of the history of the Starbase, we can see that in every half of the year, SpaceX starting a quite big construction, and this half year will be quite ending in a couple of months, because the Mega Bay 2 has been finished already. So Zach thinks, and maybe even more people think, that this new bay will be, or of course the deconstruction of the high bays has to be the first step, and we don't know whether this Stargate building will be gone or not. But it looks kind of sure that the high bay will be gone, and maybe in next spring, so in couple of or next winter already. We don't know, of course, the timing, but maybe the days of the high bay are counted.
Yep. Right. Let me just take a look take you back to this photo, not because of the meme aspect, but definitely the site. Just guys, look at for a second. This looks so damn clean. This is so professional now that all the barriers are gone. This is just plain beautiful. A real nice eye candy. Seriously, it looks so clean. There is no other words. Obviously, with these paintings, they can do now SPMT drag races or some similar events. Uh,
Yeah, a nice quarter mile drag race.
with an SPMT, go. Half an hour later, finish. Yeah, so it's beautiful. We cannot highlight it any more. That this is just beautiful. And also there are some nice photos we have of the car park, because the car park, there is no episode without a car park.
Of course,
There
how could we miss it?
miss it. No, definitely not. So they are fitting some railings on the side. It looks pretty nice. I definitely have this fetish. I cannot
These are
deny it.
windbreakers, or what are these things?
I don't. Maybe just decoration. Maybe there is some functionality to it. God knows. I don't. But hopefully the chat will tell us. By the way,
If a
if you have
construction engineer is viewing currently, then please enlighten us. What are these column things, or I don't know.
nice, that come on, it's not that important.
Of course, I'm just joking.
Also, I get this new photo. This is fresh. This is again, it's really getting nicer and nicer week by week. I just love the site. And by the way, now that we are on this area, let's start a little bit about Star Factory, because this is getting nicer.
Yeah, yeah. One thing's that it's the part of the Star Factory. Other things, it's part of the new office building. But soon, these all together will be a giant building. As we can see, of course, this animation is just a speculation. We can't tell that it will be totally 100% looking like on this photo. But yeah, anyway, there are quite a lot of beams, and we can think that all of these will be maybe all of this inside area will be built in quite soon.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, time will tell. But as we can see, the construction is still going on on a quite fast tempo or pace, and these construction or these footings are already prepared there. These and we will see how
Um, what
these will shape.
what's the difference already? What we can see from this aerial photo is that it's not just this bit that gonna be built in. So from here
Mhm.
and all the way up and like this. Oh, look at this! This is proper beautiful painting here. Picasso is in action. But we can see that
Beautiful.
these bits are already being built. So
Mhm.
this is definitely a sign that there will be more area built in and some sort of structure gonna emerge from the ground. So yeah, that looks pretty neat, I have to say.
Yeah, but the concrete footings we can see on this old private parcel which SpaceX
Mm-hmm.
has finally taken.
Yep.
But that's because they haven't started on this area because it was not so long ago still a private area, and SpaceX couldn't start the construction here. But
Yes.
at least, or finally, they have taken this place or this area parcel, and they could start the construction here as well. So yeah, it will be quite an enormous big one big building soon, and yeah, as the paperwork said, this new office building has to start functioning on the 1st of January 2025, so quite soon, in 3 months actually. But I guess they will be finishing it sooner if they can going forward with with this pace of
Mm-hmm.
construction. But yeah, anyway, it will be looking like a quite of interesting building because this C shape will be built in, I guess, and it will be just a hook coming out from the Star Factory building, but who knows?
Yep. Yeah, we will see. It's definitely, if I think from this angle, it's more vivid that how
Mhm.
nicely these structures are emerging. Yeah, I think it's just the beginning. Maybe as you just mentioned, this whole area gonna be built in completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Okay. Let's probably move on to. I'm just checking if we missed something from here.
Ah,
Uh,
yes, the S32 movement.
yep.
We
Yep.
can see from this angle as well that
Mm-hmm.
there are still three second ship prototypes, but the middle one, the S32, has been moved a bit to the right from this angle, and maybe that's because they just need
Middle
place.
one, you mean the one that's on the right side now? That
Yes,
was in the
yes.
middle one. Yep.
So if we are seeing the three full scale prototypes, the middle one is the S32, which has been now signed, and yeah, that's because I guess the S33 needs place as well. So which was the place for, previously for the S32, it will be the place for the S33 because maybe they will finish the preparations of this new prototype in this rocket garden, and after everything is finished, then they will move it to the rocket to the message outpost, and they will doing the first cryo tests with this new prototype. Of course, it's the first block 2 prototype, so maybe they will have even more attention on this new ship 33 because yeah, it's kind of new construction or new design, new model, new everything. So maybe they will do more cryo tests, not only one as in the previous tests. with the previous prototypes. But yeah, that's a kind of interesting that finally S32 has been moved, and
Something is happening
rumor
with it. Mhm.
rumor has it that it will be scrapped quite soon.
Mhm.
But of course, as always, we will see.
What I really like, I only spotted it now. Look, they painted here the asphalt, the roads as well.
Mhm.
As you can see, you couldn't see it from the other angle with the Beatles guys, but here it's visible that basically it's really nice now. It's really look like a rocket factory, and even here they
Yeah,
painted even the
all
zebras.
all the area has been painted finally,
Really
so
nice. Uh huh. So
it's a
it
quite of organized thing now. So it looks like a normal rocket factory at least.
Yep, and the crab stand just got its position here or its place here. Okay, cool. That's really neat. Let's go to the launch site, but before that, please make sure if you like what you hear, you destroy the like button. Also subscribe to this channel, the What About It Plus channel, also to the main channel What About It channel, because there are tons of information. Let me remind you, there is a 24/7 camera that's running, as the name suggests, every day and night, so you can check out what's going on at Starbase anytime basically there. And of course, we hugely appreciate if you take your share and contribute to the Y family by subscribing, becoming a member, or supporting the channel on Patreon. And then let's see what is cracking on at the launch site, because there are some interesting things
Mhm.
happening.
Okay, so if we follow the alphabetic um, uh, order, then we start with Tower A or Pad A, and then we move to the Pad B. But maybe the more interesting things are going on currently on Tower A or Pad A, because yeah, as currently we can see still the full stack, but maybe it will be gone quite soon because the so one thing that the chopsticks have been moved back as position as grabbing position. So they have already grabbed the S31. Sorry, S30. So I can't follow the prototypes anymore because there are lots of them. So S30, sorry. So what we can see it's the S30 and Booster 11 pair, that's for sure. And yeah, on this photo we can see the chopsticks have grabbed the ship, and maybe the destacking will be
Imminent.
will be imminent. Yeah, thank you. So, but the other thing that, and maybe it's the most interesting thing, that the alignment pins of the booster have been removed already last week. And it's interesting because SpaceX has done it already, or only all the time before the launch or before the test flights, just a couple of days before the flights. And it's quite interesting because, as we know, the flight 5 at the current situation won't happen until end of November. So it looks like quite of early thing that these alignment or stabilizer pins have been removed. But it was maybe SpaceX had the reason to do that.
Maybe
But
they just breaking the habit and they just, they just doing something differently to how they used to do it.
mhm.
But I would love to see that this is going to strengthen my theory that they're gonna repeat flight 4, but we're gonna come back to this topic later.
Yeah, so anyway, there is still a full stack on the OLM, but it will be changed quite soon because the destacking is imminent. So, and we don't know whether the two prototypes will be rolled back to the Mega Bay and Mega Bay 1 and Mega Bay 2. We will see it. Or they will just moved next to the OLM and they will start their fate. How will be they flying? So yeah, we have to be patient as always, and we will see if whether SpaceX will change their mind, and they will fly these tech as not 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 how would I say, not a totally repeat as flight 4, but it won't be a flight 5 as currently planned, because for this new plan, I mean the catching attempt, SpaceX needs a totally new launch license, and as we know, it won't happen until end of November, and maybe SpaceX will change its mind or their mind, and they will think that okay, we need the flight data even more or even better, as we will wait still 2 months to fly flight 5 as currently planned. So yeah, as always, time will tell how this plan, whether changing or not changing. But the destacking is looking quite sure thing.
Yep. Yeah, we will see what's going on. I still would like to see them doing a repeat of the Flight 4, because they are losing precious time right now, and I don't see the reason. Not because I am somebody who's saying anything meaningful regarding to SpaceX issues, because we don't know. We just trying to put the puzzles together, but I think they are just wasting their time, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Whilst we are on this area, SpaceX shared a great photo, and we just made a nice comparison. So these guys were sitting on the chopstick. Um, Obviously, nice. Not when the chopstick was really high above, although that would really put everything into perspective, especially when we see the upper photograph when the guys were building the Empire State Building in 1932.
Yeah,
But
it's one of the most famous photo ever done, I guess.
iconic, yeah, indeed. Definitely the comparison was, I had to do this photo, and I'm glad that a lot of people watched it. But yeah, it's a great stuff, great photo. Thank you, SpaceX, for sharing it. Okay, let's see what's going on with the Pad B.
Mhm.
How the construction is unfolding over there.
Yeah, finally the digging has started, or the excavation, and yeah, it's all the time a good thing when something is starting. But even now, when Pad B is taking shape, then it's, I guess, quite a kind of exciting times. So yeah, surprising, but where the excavators are, there are the excavations.
No
So
kidding.
no kidding,
No
yeah.
kidding.
So yeah, this narrow area, which is the L shape, or yeah, yeah, let's say L shape. This is for the cryopipe, a new cryopipe laying down. So they will drive everything from from this angle, from the bottom of the photo, and they will they will drive it through this this L-shaped trench, and yeah, we can see that the construction has been started, but still the middle section hasn't started yet. But maybe that's the most important and most exciting thing, that when it will be starting, then finally we could have answers how this new OLM will be looking like, because there are already, I don't know, countless countless renders and animations and renders and everything, how this new OLM will be looking like. But of course, everything is just a speculation, because as we have seen on the Sanchez side, there are only a couple of parts still existing. So when this new OLM will be finished, I mean the construction of the new OLM, then finally we can have the answers, how does it, or how it do it, or how we will it looking like. But the rectangular base is for sure. So there is out of question. It won't be a round thing as the current OLM. But yeah, so the digging or the excavation in the middle section, maybe it's still waiting, or we have to wait, because the ground, or the basic things, or the basic construction have finished just last week, and maybe they have to strengthen the ground to then dig it out. So yeah, but maybe we don't have to wait more weeks, and parallel, the new OLM is built. So yeah, maybe on next week we will be even more or even more clever as now.
We will see.
And other thing, or yeah, maybe there is not another thing. Or Sabi, do you have anything to mention or add?
Nope, I don't think. Yeah, one very important event has happened. They transported the ship 30
Ah,
transport
yes.
stand back to the launch site. So that was another clue that they are going to destack the full stack, and most likely we don't know what's gonna happen with the ship 30. Is it going to be transported back to the build site, or is it just gonna be parked there? Are they gonna do some maintenance with the hot staging ring, or God knows? I don't know.
Actually, the transport stand or the parking stand, or how do I call it, it's currently, we can see on this photo, in the front of the hot dog tanks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Say,
that's it.
say hi to the What About viewers. Yes, it's right there. Okay, let's not wait any longer. Let's just cover this thing, this event, this shenanigan that's going on between FAA and SpaceX, because um, we've been talking about a lot on our platform. A lot of people have very strong opinion about FAA. I need to raise one very, very, very important aspect. One of our viewers at Space Junkie raised a very good question, and I just thought that it's worth mentioning. So he was asking that why on earth not NASA is the one that overlooking the SpaceX activity. So why they are not the ones who are licensing and doing FAA's work? Because in the previous episode we were talking about, by the way, if you have any question, please tell us in the chat and we will happily trying to answer them. So why not NASA? Because we were talking about whose responsibility of what kind of launches, and how is decided that what launch licensing and overlooking of a launch and mission goes to NASA or to FAA. So if you remember during the COTS, so the commercial transport system,
Commercial orbital transporting system. Yeah.
thank you, and the CCP, the commercial crew program, was basically NASA's idea to transport cargo and humans to and from the International Space Station. So basically, that's why NASA was overlooking all these missions and all the developments. And basically, once, let's say, when it came to Dragon, once it fulfilled the Demo 1 and Demo 2 missions, then FAA took over, and FAA was basically doing all the launches and covering ever since all of the crew missions, including Crew 9 that has been just launched on Saturday, and also all the private missions, Inspiration 4, Polaris Dawn, and all the Axiom missions. With Starliner, that's not the case. Starliner hasn't made that leap yet to basically being qualified for missions, and therefore it's still NASA who's the one who's overlooking all the activities. So basically, we come to the point that where the Starship program falls, because the question is fair and square. Absolutely, if NASA would do it, probably they could hurry up things, and people assume that they wouldn't be obstructing, as a lot of people think FAA is obstructing basically the developments and the flights. They probably would be more flexible towards the flights, which I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But the fact is that the Starship program is SpaceX's own internal program. And later on the developments, it happened that NASA chose Starship for the HLS, the Human Landing System, part of the human landing system. So that's the primary vehicle to land on the moon. And obviously, since, as we know, they chose the Blue Origins lander as a secondary lander, part of the Artemis program. So later on, basically, the Starship program joined the NASA's Artemis program, and that's why it's not NASA's territory, and they are not the ones who are actually licensing and allowing SpaceX to do what they do, and that's why it falls to FAA. So yeah, I just thought it's worth mentioning because that's a very important aspect, and I'm not entirely sure that NASA would be more allowing for SpaceX, or they wouldn't be so obstructing as a lot of people think that FAA is so obstructing towards SpaceX. It's a very dividing topic, I have to say.
Yeah, one thinks that, this one, other thinks that, but yeah, what we know, or what we can assume, that NASA is still quite satisfied with the performance of the Starship so far, because I don't know when, but recently Bill Nelson has stated, or just it was a report with Eric Berger not long time ago. So yeah, and in this interview there was an interesting statement from Mr. Nelson, that he said that everything so far SpaceX has done, they have reached all the milestones what we have requested, or what we have actually asked from them. So that's why we can think that NASA is not so strict with SpaceX, and they know that this kind of new vehicles and even a new stage 0 has been built, and has to be tested quite for a long time, and it's kind of a new construction itself. The stage 0, the stage 1, stage 2, all the hardware parts of the new Starship program, and NASA has a big experience in development of a new rocket. Of course, I know that NASA itself hasn't had any rocket, because the Saturn V, the space shuttles were built not by the NASA, but they have operated by the NASA. But
So
that doesn't
basically,
mean
the private companies build them, and then NASA owned the hardware, and they were
actually, yes.
operating them. Mhm.
But that's why they have still the experience how to develop, and they know the development is a quite long phase, and Starship is a entirely new system, and that's why NASA doesn't want to push and ask all the time SpaceX, okay, what's going on? Why don't you launch the Starship even frequently? So they give them time. I mean, NASA gives time for SpaceX even. However, they know that the Artemis 3 launching date currently, which is September of 2026. So it's already less than 2 years, and Artemis 3 should be launched. But currently, it's a totally unreal
Unrealistic
thing.
dates. Yeah.
So and even since Starship HLS has been started to be developed, and of course we still don't have unfortunately too much information about it, because everything is going behind the scenes so far. So we haven't seen any hardware, or just we have seen the airlock for the new HLS, but that's all. And no hardware, nothing else, no information. So we can assume that in behind the scenes the development of the HLS Starship is still ongoing, but the Starship hasn't reached orbit yet, and it's already September 2024, and NASA could be very impatient. Okay, hi guys, what's going on? Why don't you put the Starship finally on orbit, and why don't you develop even even faster? But I guess SpaceX is quite transparent with NASA, and they have mentioned their plans, and they have shared everything with the NASA directors and administration. So that's why I guess there is no debate between SpaceX and NASA. Yeah, SpaceX and FAA, it's a quite totally and entirely different situation, and yeah, it looks like the debate is even more developing, unfortunately, and it's going even deeper and deeper. But they have to find a solution quite soon, because this current situation is not good for either party. So they have to find something which will be a better cooperation as current it is, because even SpaceX has to learn that they have to follow the rules, but on the other side, the FAA has to grow
Be
up,
more flexible.
or has to grow up for this new situation, that even more and more private company will join, and even more and more different development phase or development way will be coming up, which FAA has to deal with. So that's why FAA has to learn a lot for this current situation as well, I think.
One thing is clear. I think I'm not entirely sure. We always try to say everything with a grain of salt because there's nothing certain at the moment, and there are a lot of to and fro's between the parties, between SpaceX and FAA. We can see now that I think they started knocking on the right doors. So definitely some congressman is getting involved in this situation, and I think that's the right step, because if they want to achieve any change in the regulations and how they allow testing and how quickly certain things go through, definitely it cannot be done through social media. It cannot be done by sharing some updates on your website, or your CEO is going on a rampage on X. That's not the way. I don't think it ever worked. So I'm kind of baffled about that. Right now, at least it looks like the congressmen are approached and they are sort of leaning towards SpaceX's side, and they can apply the right pressure to the right authorities. And finally, that's the right step. And I really welcome that. But that's not gonna happen overnight. I'm afraid. And I would like to see SpaceX doing what SpaceX is best of doing, and that's testing. They were always champions of fast and iterate design and development, and that's what they do the best. So instead of just arguing and going full blue origin, sorry, instead just go and get some more data. Flight 4 wasn't that smooth. Okay, that was not. We don't know yet, but it looks like there might have some explosion happened with booster 11. Some signs are pointing that direction. So why not launching? Why not testing? Why the wait while they already have more or less the license for another launch? So I would like to see that the removal of what's the pin, the alignment pin, is probably one sign that they are actually gearing up for the proper, launch. Another Flight 5 without the launch attempt, and whenever the time comes, whenever the right applications go through and all the licenses will arrive, then they're gonna try the catch. But instead of just waiting another 2 months or God knows how long, just launch it. Just light that candle, Mr. Musk. If I would be like, the old days when Ronald Reagan was addressing Gorbachev, instead of tearing down that wall, just light that candle, Mr. Musk. Just send it. Just go. Press the button. So
Yeah,
I would
but
like to see that happen. I
just
really.
one more thing to add, that NASA spaceflight has asked last week, I guess, or maybe before last 2 weeks ago, never mind, FAA, if SpaceX could fly with the current situation the Starship, and the FAA answered that actually no, because the TPS, the thermal protection system, or the heat shield itself, has changed so a lot with the new heat tiles, and actually it shall be investigated as well. So even if we think that Starship could fly tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, it's not like that. So unfortunately, the
We don't
TPS
know.
is,
We don't know.
but it's still it would be still a shorter time as currently the 2 months.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, the hardwares are ready actually. So not only this current full stack, but even Booster 12 and Ship 31 is already ready. And of course, with some preparation, they could be launched quite soon. So it's not like that if this full stack would be launched, then the next flight could be happen, I don't know, in 1 year, but it could be happen in 1 month. And maybe it's not a too too positive or too optimistic thing. But yeah, anyway, what SpaceX currently is doing, it's quite interesting, and of course they know the best, what's the best for them. So yeah, we just have to be patient and we have to wait what will be the solution. But anyway, the Congress has to move and has to step in, because actually the laws, the safety and everything law is built and created by the Congress and not by the FAA. So the FAA just the director of
They're just
the
executing. Yeah.
executing, yeah, actually. So they don't create laws, and they just overseeing everything. And but the Congress would be that the guys who shall be stepping and making these processes. I mean the investigations and launch licensing and everything to be to moving and making it even faster and more how would I say, cooperative way or kind of that. And
Yep.
yeah, it shall be more efficient. Efficient. That's for sure.
Yep. But we definitely adore Gwyn Shotwell. She was taking part on a hearing in Texas, and I think she's such an asset for SpaceX. She's such an
Yes, she is.
advocate. She's unbelievably professional, and I think she should come forward and taking over dealing with this issue instead of Elon. Historically, it proved that she's doing it way much better than Elon is doing. Elon is busy with politics lately. During this hearing, there was one interesting fact that I would like to pull in. So Gwyn Shotwell lives very close to McGregor, and she mentioned that there is a test of Raptor engines times a day, 7 times a day. So that's an
I guess
incredible.
she got used to it already, and she just doesn't hear it anymore. Ah,
Well,
one more
apparently,
option.
no, no, no. Well, apparently she does because she said that when she's on the phone with some employees, they need to kind of, if I understood well, they just need to interrupt it a little bit because it's so bloody loud. So yeah, this is crazy. I mean, and again, a lot of we got so many attacks on sort of taking the side of the FAA and we are impartial, and it's weird because when you try to be impartial, then people going to tell you that no, 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 you are taking sides. I don't think so. We love SpaceX. So when we say things, we're not saying it because we lost our love for SpaceX or whatever SpaceX is standing for or what they are doing. No, we are not. We actually would like to see them doing more, but sometimes what they are trying to achieve is unrealistic, or it just looks like if they live in a bubble and they completely ignore the environment, and I don't mean the nature, the environment, I mean the enforcement and what FAA is doing and the laws and the regulations, then yes, you can have your plans in an ideal world, but we are not living in an ideal world, and sadly they need to cope. And to be frank, just to end the program with probably with this thought, um, I don't want to see SpaceX is dictating and just creating willy-nilly certain regulations. That if they ask for something and FAA is kind of, yes, yes, we are doing it, we're doing it. We don't want them to become such a giant that they are dictating in the whole American space industry. I think that's very dangerous. There need to be an independent body that's overlooking even them and regulating and controlling them, despite how important role they are playing right now. We don't want monopoly for SpaceX. We want other companies growing up and having the same, you know, chance of doing incredible things. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then just one more thing to add, and maybe we can finish our show for today. So SpaceX is not anymore a startup company. So it's 22 years old, and it's even for a human, it's already a grown up. But yeah, so I just want to say that the FAA can't hold SpaceX hands all the time, as in case of a startup company. So SpaceX has to follow the rules, but it doesn't mean that they are on a totally other way and a simultaneous or single way, I would say. So yeah,
SpaceX is not a startup company anymore.
yeah,
That's a very
that's why I'm
important
saying that
aspect.
maybe
Yeah.
if it would be a startup company, then we could just take it as a baby mistake, or how would I say that? Okay, it's a startup company. Maybe they don't know how to follow the rules and how to test their vehicles, but it's not like that anymore. So SpaceX should know the regulatory things,
Yep.
and they have to follow them.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And if you want to change them, which it's a fair ask from them, because yes, the FAA is not designed for this kind of rapid development for sure, and I totally get it. But then work on it with the congressman to change it and turn the tide around, and then just make it happen, but not on X platform. Okay, they need to follow the right channels. Okay, please tell us what you think about the topic. As always, we run out of time, but in the comment section, we always would like to hear your thoughts. And before we go, definitely I would need to remind you, tomorrow another episode is coming from Felix, just like on Friday. Every Tuesday, Friday, it's a new episode on What About It channel. So if you want even a more professional source of information, then I highly recommend you to follow what Felix is doing and reporting on. 24/7 live stream. That's the way to go if you want to take a look at what's going on at Starbase. We are coming back next Monday as usual. I think it's becoming now a regular thing. So tell us in the comment, what do you think about these programs? How do you like it? Where should we improve? And what do you think about all the topics that we covered? So I think, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us here. And I think we see you next week. I see you all next week, right? Take care.
Yes, have a nice week for all, and see you next Monday.
Yep. Bye. Take care,
Bye
guys.
bye.